All right, you all, welcome. This is day 5. Y'all have made it with me. We we literally just came up from Monday to Friday. 5 days of the Orgasmic Power Masterclass I've been teaching you guys. I'm Fidel Snook II. I am your host and guide today. I am the founder and CEO of the Alkalign Lifestyle. And of course, y'all have been rocking with me since day one. So what we were talking about is transformation, helping you guys go from collapse, which is internal collapse, to coherent. I need you guys to be coherent because I want y'all to have a great experience of life. And so, essentially, what we've been going through were the stages, each stage that gets you to start from the bottom, go all the way to the top. You need to move your energy from the bottom, from the root chakra, your gonads, your adrenals, all the way to the crown. They call it the mind of God, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland. And you're going to see that just a perception change, the way that you believe and see the world, is going to help you guys change your internal chemistry. That's then going to make you infinite. That's the goal. All right. So, everybody here, y'all got some problems, some issues. You got some problems with your relationships, parents, whatever you are, man. It doesn't matter what you are. I built this formula to be able to help every person that comes. And so this is where you guys are gonna understand, like, yo, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. I promise you. All right. Now today we're gonna get into. Let me get this light. Make sure it gets out of my way. All right. So what today what we're gonna get into is gonna be something pretty cool. We're gonna wrap everything up. All right. So how we're gonna do it is I'm gonna give you guys a review, obviously, of what we studied yesterday. If y'all were not here, we're gonna go through what we studied yesterday, just for a brief overview, and I'm gonna get into the 13 stages, the transformation, and I'm gonna show you guys some tips and things that you guys can do, and give you guys some keys, like some pieces that you're gonna need to accumulate on your own, so you can do this process for yourself. People are too anxious, they're too depressed, they're too nervous, they're too sick. I understand it. I used to be a person that had these issues. I had all these issues, parasitic issues, all types of crap that was going on in my body and in my mind. I had all these different things happening to me. So I understand what y'all going through. Okay. So let's jump right into it. Yesterday, what we learned how a person develops an external identity. Basically, I'm teaching you guys why you're not acting like yourself. That's it. Why do you stay polarized? Why are you people pleasing constantly? Why are you pretending to behave like somebody that you're not? You are being somebody else, which means you can only be second to somebody else because you can only be first yourself. Meaning I can only be myself first. I can only be somebody else second. Which actually makes no sense. Why would I want to be somebody else second and not be myself first? I'm gonna tell you why. Because literally, how human beings lose themselves is through social conditioning. Society is what taught you how to put on a mask and it conditioned you to be somebody that you're not. Now you're living somebody else's life right now, today. I guarantee people on my live stream right now, you can tell me that you've done something for somebody else that was not what you wanted to do for yourself. I know, I guarantee this. And I'm going to show you just how. First off, we got to get through this part so that y'all can understand why you're doing it. Then we're going to get into how you're going to change it because you're going to change it. Okay. So let's keep going. Okay. Let me make sure I got this part. All right. So, first step in what shapes you into being somebody else and losing yourself is called environmental conditioning. It is what it is, environmental conditioning. Something from the environment conditions you to leave yourself, to leave your dreams and your goals. You ever heard somebody say, "Don't tell your dreams and goals to everybody"? My best friend does it. He calls me on this every day. He's like, "Yo, stop talking. Stop saying, stop telling people what you want to do. Stop telling people what you want to do." He tells me that because of the simple fact there's environmental conditioning. You go tell your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your uncle, somebody in your family is your biggest hater. Not because they hate your guts, because they hate their own. They hate themselves. They never achieved their dreams. Why would they sit there to tell you you can achieve yours? Ain't gonna happen. You're delusional. So you've been conditioned from ages 0 to 7 years of age by your caregivers. I'll make sure I write this down. Ages 0 to 7 years of age is subconscious programming. Subconscious programming occurs right at conception. When you're in the womb, you're being programmed. You're being programmed throughout the entire time. Okay? So when you come out, society, your parents, your family members, the school that you go to, starting in preschool or kindergarten, wherever that is, your religion that your family follows, the media, I'm talking about TV shows, movies, Hollywood, your friends. Your friend circle is very powerful. If you're not being intentional about the friends that you're keeping, people that you are hanging around, that's constructive interference or destructive interference that has an effect. How about social media? Social media damn sure has an effect on people's conditioning, on people's behavior, because you instantly see something. You instantly see something that you may want or you think that you don't have. So those things are in the category of environmental conditioning. Now we're going to move down this step, down the ladder, which is going to be approval and rejection learning. When you were a child, when you were younger, you learned what was going to get you in the door, what was going to get you a smile. Which, if you a black family, not saying it's just black people, but I know I used to get whooped, so what's not going to get me beat down in this day and age, by my mom and daddy, and even my older sister, like, was not gonna get me punished and not gonna get me whooped. I had to figure out what's gonna get me to do the right thing for them, because they're telling me what the right thing is in order for me to live, in order for me to have praise and avoid criticism. See, now you had approval, rejection, learning. So you learned praise. You said praise is positive. Praise is good. Nobody beats me. Nobody yells at me. I'm not in trouble. Criticism is bad. I'm doing something wrong. Okay, and then you learn comparison. Comparison is good. I have to compare myself to the person to the left, to the right, because I need to be like Mike, or I need to be like Johnny. I need to be like Kim, or Keisha. I have to be like Tammy. I have to be like them in order for me to pass, in order for me to be good. So you start looking around. Who's the superstar? Who's first place? And you be like them. How about reward? You get something if you do this. How about shame? You get you get brought back down to your knees if you say this. So being honest is usually looked down upon, especially in the internet age right now. They attempt to cancel you out. Okay? And how about belonging? This is the people who say, I'm an extrovert, I'm an introvert, because you have either belonging or you have exclusion. You either go hide in the cave, you either go walk into a function, and you're gonna be expressive and network, or you're gonna go hide in the corner because you're too afraid. You're too afraid to say anything for yourself. Speak up for yourself. It's sad. It's real sad. So, in that regard, that's the second category. Number two, approval and rejection learning. And again, these all these things are occurring in ages 0 to 7 years of age. You're doing this when you're really small, when you're really young. Okay? So the third category is going to be survival conclusions. And this is utterly important because what happens in this case, survival conclusions, you start to speak to yourself, speaking to yourself in this distorted way. Start saying, I need to do this. I have to do this. I must do this. I must achieve. I need to achieve. I have to achieve. I need to be attractive. I have to be attractive. I must be attractive. I must be strong for other people. That's the what's probably one of the most common ones. People get burnt out from this. I must be strong. I must negate my desires so I can fulfill my children's needs, so I can fulfill my wife's needs, so I can fulfill my husband's needs. You literally do not fill your cup up. You talk yourself out of it. You stop talking yourself into the things that make you feel good, and you tell yourself, I must avoid rejection. This is the worst thing that you can possibly do. You attempting to be liked by everybody. You know how impossible that shit is? There's 8 billion people in this world, over 8 billion people in this world. You think all of them gonna like your ass? Just be real with yourself. Why would you want that? Again, that's what conditioning does to you. That's what speaking these things into existence happens. This is what happens. So now you become this performative, number four, performative identity, meaning you construct this identity to perform, to be an actor, to start tap dancing for people. And this is what happens when you do this. Start managing your image. You have to appear a certain way. You have to look a certain way. You have to talk a certain way. Use this certain type of accent in order for you to get a pass from people. You have to use this determining factor, which is you literally just made up a construction of an identity so that you can be people pleasing to people. This is right. I put arrows here. So, and at the end of this, obviously I'm gonna zoom in for you guys to be able to see this, and also they'll have visuals on my school website that you it's actually called school. So if y'all know that I'll list it inside my profile as well. You guys can go to you'll be able to see the visuals on this. But people pleasing is gonna be the highlight of this because this is actually the seventh mistaken goal. People pleasing. You please people. You are attempting to get approval from other people. And this is the whole entire philosophy behind what I do. I'm getting you to have the courage to be disliked. Because if you want to have true freedom, you can't be seeking approval from everyone on the outside. You're never going to be free. So you have superiority performances. You start talking crazy like you the biggest, knowing you ain't the biggest. You hear Rose, I'm the biggest. Yeah, yeah, brother. You big. You got shit. But that don't really mean shit. That doesn't. Is you happy? Is you really happy? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's not an amount of money or material possessions in the world that can say that you are doing a wonderful job. You can't. There is coherence. So don't believe all that bullshit. And again, I love Rose. His music is phenomenal. I've listened to this stuff since what 2000s. But all I'm saying is, don't fake it, man. You don't gotta fake it for nobody. This shit is pathetic at the end of the day. So here's social masking. Social masking is the last part of this category because what you do is you go outside and you hide your internal feelings. You ever see somebody just crying? They'll just be crying, but they're trying to have a straight face. You're trying to hide your emotions and your feelings. You're masking for society. You over here taking these damn filters and bullshit pictures and Instagram pictures and shots like that. You over here take all these photos and shit, but that ain't how you really look. You're masking yourself. You got makeup on. You got makeup on your brain. It's not how you really look. It's not how you really talk. What the fuck are you doing? You must not love yourself enough. Clearly, you don't love yourself enough. And so here comes the fifth category: external validation. You have a dependency on external validation. This one sucks. This category right here, this shit sucks. Because now you open in the app when you wake up in the morning. You check in the Instagram when you get up in the morning. You check in the Facebook. You check in the damn TikTok, the damn YouTube. You check in everything. As soon as you get up in the morning, you are addicted. You are dependent upon someone liking whatever you just posted. You spend an hour changing the filter, making sure that you had to lighten the background. You were putting all of this in, and you were doing all of it just so you can make sure that you got about 1,000 likes, and that wasn't good enough. You wanted 5,000 for that picture, so now you depressed and sad. Now you got to go back and do the whole thing all over again. I put a different filter. I'll take a picture with your face just like this here. Put a filter on little fishy lips and all that kind. You start doing all kind of dumb shit like you fucking Mr. Potato Head. Stupid. Makes no sense. Just be yourself again. But here's the problem: the followers, the admiration, the achievement that you're thinking that you got because you got 1 million followers, people who don't fucking know you and don't care about your life, relationships, attention, your money success. You got 100 million in the bank, but you want to commit suicide. Look that shit up. People who have 100 million in the bank, billions of dollars in the bank. Why the fuck are you miserable? You would think that they have everything, right? No, they empty. Some of them are empty. Not all of them. Some of them are empty, and they're again dependent upon approval. All of this stuff is a. I used to play professional basketball. I had I had this goal of making it to the NBA. I was playing in the ABA at the time, and I was playing for some scouts for the G League, and I was in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I had just came up. I was playing with this ABA team. We traveled up to Bowling Green to play against this team. And again, ABA in the old school was phenomenal. Dr. J, all that kind of shit. But ABA now is just like a minor league for basketball in this country. So I'm in there playing. This is like 2016 or 17. And these people don't even fucking know who I am. I'm in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They just found my number. I guess I was on the team website, and these people over here talking about my mama, talking about my daddy, talking about my girl, talking about my sister, talking about my friends. They don't fucking know who I am. They must have saw my Facebook or something like that. And they over here got pictures and my number. My number was 99, because I picked it myself, it's ABA, so I can do whatever I want, like in that regard. But they were over here just chastising, just condemning me. People don't fucking know who I am. How are y'all talking about my personal life? Y'all don't even know who I am. And it dawned on me like, oh, they don't give a fuck. They don't even care. These people don't even have no connection to me. So why is it that people have this external, like I have to be clapped? I have to have a clap and have a standing ovation and applause for me and say I did a great job today. I just, from that point on, I did not give a flying fuck who told me great job, who told me anything. I didn't care. Because I used to be dependent on it. I used to be thinking, oh, I have to have my trainer tell me good job. My coaching staff tell me good job. The fans tell me good job. Man, I ain't getting a fuck no more. I just started to tell myself, okay, internally, do what you say you're gonna do. Do what you feel. Don't suppress yourself. Do that. Make yourself feel good. Play the game that you love to play. And once I went there in my hand, I shot myself forward. But prior to that, I was scared of doing any fucking thing. Now, number six, internal fragmentation. What does that mean? Your energy flow gets fragmented. Your energy flow gets broken. Your energy flow gets broken. All of a sudden, you have anxiety. What is anxiety? You're supposed to be doing something, but you don't know what you're supposed to be doing or who you were doing before. You have anxiety because you think you're supposed to be doing this way because somebody told you it's supposed to be done this way. So now you have anxiety. You don't look at the end goal. You do the same things that everybody. If you ever been to a job and when you first day on the job and they tell you this is how we do things around here, oh, then you're gonna be fucked up. Because now the end goal is saying we follow this simple format. We do things. Everything is the same thing, the same time, the same way. We talk the same. We walk the same. We do everything the same. You can't use any imagination. You are just stuck like a conveyor belt. Have no uniqueness. You have now conformed and condemned yourself to an egoic death. Stop saying that your ego is bad. Your ego is not bad. Your ego is yourself. Your ego is you. Do you not want to be yourself? You want to be connected to you, or do you want to be somebody else? So you need to have an ego. Make sure it's healthy. If it's polarized, if it's fragmented, it's because you're looking at it externally. It's somebody else's ego that you stamped and say, I need to be that person. It's impossible. You're never going to be able to be somebody else. So when you have anxiety, when you have emptiness, you are even not filled up your cup. Just look at the words. You have emptiness. You feel emptiness. Okay, yeah, right. I would assume so. You're empty on the inside. You didn't fill up your cup. Are you doing what you love to do every day? Probably not. Probably not. You probably gave that up a long time ago. You probably gave up on your own dreams and goals and scrapped those. Left those alone. Left those out of your life, out of your sight. Then you start to have this burnout. Burnout only comes from you doing things and not in alignment with your own value. Things that you love to do. I love to hoop. If somebody told me right now that I need to go be a wrestler or something like that, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm like, I don't like that. That's not what I like to do. I like to be in shape, train myself, go to the gym every day. I like to go to do things and keep my fitness first and keep my business first and things that I love to do. Somebody told me to go work at McDonald's, I'd be like, what the fuck? I want to kill myself because it wouldn't make any sense to me. It's not what I want to do. I'm doing things in alignment with myself, with my higher self, Okay, my higher self says, hey, you want to go here, do this. I follow that. If my higher self does not say, hey, you want to go here, do what your mama said, do what your daddy said, they're not you. They ain't your higher self. But it's not your higher self. Who told you that? Hey, my sister is she's also in health and wellness, but she went the allopathic route. So when she talks about health and wellness, she has it from her perspective. I don't project my values onto her. She doesn't project her values onto me because I don't project my values onto her. And when she does, or if she does, I don't accept that. I listen to it, I can hear it, but I don't have to take it because I have my own. So if I live in alignment with my own self and my higher self, what happens to me is I never have a burnout, period. I only have a period of infinite energy. So then you have this comparison mode. Comparison mode then comes from what? You looking left and right at what you think you should be doing. You think you should be doing it like this. But again, that's called self betrayal. You're betraying yourself. It's giving you the roadmap. When you tell yourself, I am a millionaire, ideas come to your mind to make you a millionaire. What happens to you is you start going to the YouTube, you start going to the TikTok, and start watching all these damn podcasts and start watching all this fucking videos of people who did it this way. But your heart is literally telling you to do it this way. Your heart's saying you need to do it like this. Go be an author. Go be a personal trainer. You're like, I can't get $1 million being a personal trainer. Your heart's saying yes, you can. Yeah, that's what you love to do. Your heart's saying go be a chef, go be a teacher. It's telling you what to do, and you just are sitting there. Well, when I was younger, my dad told me that I should be a lawyer because lawyers get paid a lot of money. Come on, you just gonna give up like that? You don't believe in the divine? The divine has way more power than your mom and dad is. I'm telling you. Now look at it from a place of when you have exhaustion. Exhaustion does what? You have exhaustion because again, you've been fragmented so long. Talk about chronic stress. That's your chronic stress. Daily, you going against what you're supposed to be doing. That's chronic stress. Every day, waking up doing something you ain't supposed to be doing. I practice this thing. It's relentless. It's relentless non-resistance. I don't resist anything. If somebody tells me, "Dell, fuck you. You are incorrect. You are wrong. You're doing this incorrectly. I don't like that. You're projecting your values onto me." I say, you know what? Let me go within myself real quick for a couple of hours. Oh, okay. You know what? You are 100% correct. Let me stop doing that shit. I apologize. It's on me. I take it back. Sincerely, I take it back. Because I do not want to live my life where I have resistance towards anything or anybody. How crazy is that? I'm not doing that. I'm going to take it away all of that because that means I'm resisting my higher self. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I'm in alignment with my higher self every moment. I'm always going to be the person that's going to be that's going to be respected by myself. That's self-respect, not betraying yourself. You betray yourself when you want to become somebody else. Then you have emotional disconnection. That's simply I can't feel myself anymore. That's interoception. I can't feel how I'm feeling. That's what happens at the sixth level. Now we go to the seventh level. This is going to be your loss of your authentic self. This is where you literally lose your identity because now you're confused as to who you should be. And this part really sucks because you can see it in real time. You can see it happening in real time. You can see people pleasing happen in real time. You want to go here. Somebody said this is better. Let me tell you something real simple. Okay, say you have this favorite restaurant that you want to go get some food to eat. You say, I want to go to this restaurant. It's downtown or maybe it's on the beach and I love this place. Somebody says, yeah, but I think I like this one. So we should go here. But you had your heart set on going to this place right here. You had your heart set. And you know what you did? You said, oh, yeah, really? Yeah, place is good. Okay, well, we'll just do that. As soon as you say, well, we'll just do that, you just said, fuck you to what your inner being just told you to go do. Your higher self was guiding you towards towards pleasure, and you said, nah, I'm good. My pleasure isn't good enough. Let me just take somebody else's pleasure. What are you doing? Again, you're doing it. That's the most subtle example. How many times have you done it in your lifetime? You don't think they add up? They all add up. They all stack up. And they keep on getting bigger and bigger till they overwhelm you. And then what happens is you have this lack of purpose. You start waking up and you're not on purpose no more. You don't know where you're going. If you ever heard Earl Nightingale talks about this, he talks about this in his recordings. Earl Nightingale says, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That's what he says. That means that every day you get up, you know where you're going, you know why you're doing it, you know where you're doing it, and that's the end goal. You're living by your own end goal. That's what success is. Most people don't have the idea of success. They never created it. That's why they lack purpose. So they're not purposeful, they're not intentional, they don't have any intention behind what they're doing. So that's where you get this emotional, next, emotional numbness. You become numb. You're walking around and you don't feel anything. You haven't injected yourself. The game is going on. The game of life is being played right now. You don't want to participate because you don't participate because you chose an avatar that wasn't your own avatar. You were drawing this shit up again, like fucking Mr. Potato Head. It wasn't you. Make your own. Put yourself into the game, and then what happens is you actually appreciate the game. You're grateful for the game. Let me tell you right now. If you have a polarized perspective on anything, and we're going to get into this up next, it's coming. But when you have a polarized perspective, you can never see gratitude in anything. So you can speak all the gratitude that you want, but you have to know what gratitude really is. Okay? A chronic performance. You have a chronic performance, and this is what people do. They also have chronic performances where they perform, and you can say admirably, but they're going to be performers. They're going to chronically be performing in stress the entire time, and they're going to be disconnected from their intrinsic value, what they really want to do on the inside out. I'm telling you guys how this works. So I want y'all to look at this and listen to what I'm saying and see if you're doing this in your own life. If you're doing it in your own life, if you're feeling like this in your own life, you have to make the choice that says, okay, hey, stop with the resistance. You know what? If anyone tells me I made them feel some type of way, if anyone tells me that I'm wrong for what I'm projecting, what I'm saying, I just say, you know what? Hey, I sincerely apologize. I am sorry. Because the worst thing is you can do is tell somebody what they should do. What they should do. I don't fucking know what you should do. I just know what I've done. I know what I've done, and I feel like I'm a human being that's connected to everybody else. I'm not gonna ever. I just quit it. I quit it because you know what? It's worthless. It makes no. If my goal is to get someone to be in their higher self, then just tell them the things and the instructions, and then if they want to choose to do it, then they can do it. Just tell them the pathway that you created. That's how I do it. So ultimately, this is the quote that you're going to go by. When self worth becomes dependent upon approval, status, performance, or external perception, your nervous system gradually disconnects from authentic identity and it begins organizing around survival based self image construction. You construct your self image based on survival, based on fight or flight mode. You're living in survival, so you're going to construct yourself around survival. That means you're going to pick the smallest of everything. You'll never have a grand idea. Your ideas are going to be so small. Your goals are going to be so small because you're only going to go with the things that you think that you can accomplish. You'll never pick something that's into the clouds because you don't have enough faith to do it. And that's where it stems from. Hey, if you can stop what you're doing and ask your heart and have coherence. But here's the problem: most people don't have coherence. So, this is the 0 to 7 years of age subconscious program that you've been going through. You have to get to these opposite sides. This opposite side is going to be these 7 steps. The first thing that you're going to do is self-observation. You have got to observe what self are you being when you are being that self. You must be able to observe that. You must be able to act. So what that means is you must be able to forgive things. You may have fucked up. You may have came across, you may have said the wrong thing. You may have caused something or caused a disruption. Apologize for it and really mean it. If you can really mean it and your energy can actually feel that, you're going to create that void is going to be able to be filled by you. That's self observation. You're seeing yourself where you messed up. You're seeing yourself. And you're not gonna be demonized by it. You're just seeing yourself where you messed up. Okay, hey, I fucked up. People make mistakes. Great. You're supposed to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you ain't trying to do a damn thing. You're not trying to get bigger. You're not trying to learn anything. So make mistakes. Make as many as you possibly can. That means you're doing something. You're living. You're a human being. Up next, detoxification. Detoxification. I talk about this all the time because this is the first step, actually. Observation is going to be the first step, really, because you have to become aware. It's like saying I'm an addict and I have to go to a 12-step process or whatever. But detoxification really begins the process internally. Now, I have two herbal formulas, Awaken and Replenish. You can see it in my, take a look at my profile, you'll see it inside my bio. That these formulas, what they do is they go in to your system. They change the chemistry inside of your system. And what they do is they cleanse your blood. They kill all your pathogens. They kill the parasites. And what they also do is reprogram your gut microbiome. The issue with this is if you aren't ready to commit to a new way, to a new place, or to a new being, don't do it. I'm gonna tell you right now that's not what you want. Because when you change over your chemistry, you must change over the person. The person changes. So when you detoxify, you won't eat the same. I've been plant based for 9 years. Okay, but when I really started to cleanse myself 5 years ago, my appetite, the cravings that I had, everything completely changed. It all went to mostly whole raw fruits and raw vegetables, maybe some nuts and seeds. I don't touch meat. I don't touch dairy. I touch only things that are energizing for my body. And if it's not energizing, I don't want it. That's this. What happens to you whenever you get to a higher state of being and consciousness and awareness, you only want the best of the best for your temple. That's called temple metallurgy. The ingredients that basically build your pyramid. Because my formulas were inspired by the Great Pyramid, the seven levels of the Giza the Great Pyramid and the Giza Plateau. I look at myself as the pyramid power. I can project myself through my capstone, which is my crown, all the way out so people can feel me whenever they hear me talk, or they can feel me whenever I walk into their presence. I'm that calm, cool, and collected at every moment in time, point, in space. I don't get too high. I don't get too low. I just walk. I just radiate. That's how I want to be. That's how I desire to be. That's what comes from cleansing. So if you're ready for that, click the profile and go get it. Up next, after that, intrinsic values. You have to do a value hierarchy determination for yourself. What does that mean? What do you like to do? Do you know what you like to do? Are you doing what you love to do? And if you ain't doing what you love to do, quit. It's that yes, it is that fucking simple. Maybe you should scrap everything. Maybe you should blow it up. Maybe you should get rid of all of it. Because you know what? It's way more worth it to live in alignment to do things in misalignment. To do things in misalignment. I'm plant-based. If somebody told me to go make up a fucking hamburger with some ground beef and some shit, I'll look at them like they fucking crazy. I only touch meat for my dog. Because he eats it. I don't eat it. So if you telling me to do something I don't want to do, I ain't doing it. It's not aligned with me. So I have to keep a boundary set within myself. And that's where this comes based upon intrinsic value. People pleasers. People pleaser. How's a people pleaser? I would say, oh, a burger, ground beef, no problem, man. I got you. Yeah, okay. Anything to make you happy. But the fuck that. No, hell no. Anything to make me happy. Because me happy in a reflection, this is a mirror perspective. When I'm happy, people that come back to me are also going to be happy. That's how it works because they're in alignment. It's just a state of mind. It's just a state of mind. And if I can keep a state of mind as long as I possibly can, then just watch what comes into your daily life. You're drawing that in. Intrinsic values, you must figure out what it is that you love and do that. You see, life is really short. The earth been here for billions of years. You're not here for billions of years in your physical vessel. You're not here for that long. So, in the time that you are here, be yourself. Trust that you have the provision. You don't get provision from your husband. You don't get provision from your wife. You don't get provision from your kids. You get provision from the Creator, from God. That's who gives you provision. So look at it from that perspective. Okay? Stop demanding provision or security from somebody else on the outside. It's granted to you already. Emotional honesty. Be honest about your emotions and how you feel. Stop lying to people when they say, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm doing fine. You was just crying in the bathroom." "What you crying for?" What you crying for? It has to make sense to you that again is social masking. You literally are going against how you feel. Emotional disconnection. That's internal fragmentation. I'm telling you how this works. This is all a part of it. All these things that conditioned you is conditioning you to not even look at your own emotional place. You're the cause of your effects. I'm gonna write down the seven universal laws. In case you don't know what the seven universal laws are, at the beginning, at the root chakra, the universal law is going to be generation, meaning I generate my energy. I generate my energy in this lower area, this lower region here. This is the law of generation. At the sacral chakra, you're gonna have the law of polarity. Polarity. That means you're two-sided. Every being is two-sided, positive and negative. You can't jumpstart a car battery by plugging positive and then leaving it at that. You have to have positive and negative. It's got to be two sides. At the solar plexus inside your gut, the universal law is going to be cause and effect. Cause and effect. Obviously, people do not judge properly the cause. They don't look at themselves as the cause, but every moment in time, you're causing the effect. So whatever's coming to you in your daily life, it's because of what you've been putting out. That's called the golden rule, cause and effect. Look at it from the heart. At the heart, you have the law of rhythm. Now, here's the law of rhythm. What does the law of rhythm say? It says that you have a certain vibration and a certain frequency. The law of rhythm, based upon how open your heart is how fast or how slow something's going to occur inside of your life. So you cannot sit there and ask God or the universe to change your life the next day. You can't do that if you don't change your vibration and change your rhythm. Change your heart rhythm. Open your heart to life. If your heart's closed, you ain't going nowhere. You're moving in quicksand in the actual quantum realm. You're moving in quicksand. Stop asking, stop asking for this to be different without wanting to be different. Stop asking for your life to be different, your partner to be different, your kids to be different, and you don't change. Stop sitting there saying, "I'm cold, I need heat." Fireplace is right there. Look at the fireplace thing and you're saying, "I'm cold, give me heat." And then I'll add the wood. It'll look at you like you're crazy. Go in there, go chop some fucking firewood, put it up in there, light the match, turn the gas on if you got gas, let that shit heat your house up. You gotta do some work first in order for you to change the heart rhythm. The heart rhythm changes, and then what happens? There's a law of vibration at the thyroid, at your throat. That means what you say is what you're going to create. What you say is what you're going to create. If you're speaking something into existence, you're speaking into existence because you believe it in. You don't see it to believe it. People say this freely. "Oh, I'll believe it when I see it." Okay, well you ain't never gonna fucking see it then. 'Cause you have to believe it in. You have to believe it in order to see it. That's how it works. Next one, at the third eye, you're gonna have a law of correspondence. What does that mean? That just means that everything is a mirror of what you're putting out. The people that you talk to, they're a mirror. The animals around you. If you look at nature around you, if you look at the events that's happening around your life, you can be at a busy intersection, and all of a sudden, when you walk into that intersection, it's not busy anymore. It's because your groundedness, you, you have a law of correspondence that is responding to what you're putting out. You can calm a storm. You can be the calm in the storm. You see what I'm saying? Or you can actually be the storm. Most incoherent people are actually the storm. And then you have the law of mentalism. Mentalism. That means everything is mind. Everything is mind. Everything is what you believe to be true. Yeah, that means that if your perceptions are skewed or distorted, or your goals are mistaken, as I'm going to get into next, what happens is you all of a sudden create chaos inside your life. you're causing the chaos inside your life. It's rough. It's challenging. It challenges you from a different perspective. It challenges you from a different way to look at your life differently. Okay, let's keep going. So after this, you have nervous system regulation. You must regulate your nervous system. Breathing is the easiest thing for you to do. Breathing is going to be the easiest way for you to process this. Just focus on your breath. Focus on your breathing. Box breathing is excellent thing. I teach people to do this. It's a simple concept. 5 seconds inhalation. Take 5 seconds on the inhalation. You can do it with me. 5 seconds inhale. 5 seconds. 5 second exhalation. 5 second hold. Go back to your breath. You can do it for 5 times, 10 times, 20 rounds if you want to, 10 minutes, an hour. You can sit there and breathe all the entire afternoon if you want to. It'll regulate your nervous system. It'll regulate your nervous system. You will feel wonderful. Once you do that, when you regulate your nervous system, all of a sudden you can see things differently. You can see things differently. You can feel things differently. You can experience life differently. But when you are polarized, when you are angry, when you're in fear or when you're in anger, you can't see life the way you're supposed to see life. Let's keep going. You now have aligned action. Aligned action comes from knowing your intrinsic value. Aligned action means I'm doing things in alignment with my higher self and my intrinsic value. Whatever I deem to be valuable, whatever I deem to be uh, loving to me, I'm going to do those things. If I like to be an investor, I love trading. I get up early in the morning, I trade. If I love being a trainer, I get up in the morning, I go to the gym. I train myself first, I train my clients who come. If I love being a chef, I make as many recipes as I possibly can. I just check things and I just experiment, I create things. And that's aligned action. I'm doing things in alignment with my higher self. Truth over approval. You start to do things in truth. Whatever you speak into existence, whatever you speak into truth, you begin to do those things, you begin to appreciate those things, and you do it over this external validation, this performance identity, these conclusions that you came up with. You're doing this. You're doing things that, again, in alignment because you're focusing on truth. I'm not lying to myself every day no more. I'm in alignment with myself. I'm living it with I'm in honesty. I'm honest. So then you have that, then you have embodiment and coherence. Embodiment and coherence. That's simple too. Embodiment and coherence is you just being the person that you said that you were going to be. Mentalism. That's a universal law. You have one law split into seven. They just go all the way down so that you can see this law of mentalism. You can see how you're being based upon the people coming to your life. You can see based upon your effects that you cause. You can see based upon the speed and the rhythm that things are occurring inside your life. You can see based upon vibration, how loudly you're speaking, passionate. You can see these things, you can feel them. Okay? So this is the opposite side of this spectrum. All right, now here's where we're going to go into the seven mistaken goals before we move on forward. The seven mistaken goals, these things right here, man, y'all don't understand that people make up goals all the time. People are living in these things all the time. They are literally making themselves sick. You're literally making yourself not worthy. You're making yourself do that. And it's sad, man. There's some sad stuff over there. There's some sad stuff over there. So the first mistaken goal is going to be attention seeking. This mistaken goal is it's self-explanatory. You're seeking attention from the outside, from the outer world. It's because you may not have gotten it in your environmental conditioning. You were conditioned like that. You were not conditioned that way. You were conditioned to receive attention and know how to put it on to yourself. You know how to do that. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So Again, the next mistaken goal is sacral. At the sacral chakra, you're going to have the power struggle. The power struggle is determined by what? You are literally at war with yourself. So because you are unable to control yourself, you have to control other people. That's it. Because you can't control yourself, you control others. The solar plexus, you have this element of revenge. This element of revenge. I was hurt. You hurt me. You abused me. You did all these different things to me. So now I'm going to get you back and make you feel the hurt and the pain that you've caused me. This is why relentless non-resistance is ideal for you to practice. Because if you're gonna sit there and be polarized all the time, you can sit there and want to be trying to get back at somebody the entire time. She stole my girl. He stole my girl. She stole my husband. Or all types people say all types of crazy shit. And maybe that may be true, but maybe they did it for a fucking reason because the universe is trying to protect you. Maybe somebody was trying to get you out of something that you thought was right for yourself, but it wasn't right for you. Maybe you'd never seen both sides. And unfortunately, people do this. They go through the same process the entire time. They look things at patterns and repeat patterns. And they don't actually look at both sides. How about inadequacy? At the heart. At the heart, you have this goal of inadequacy, meaning you have learned helplessness. You ever heard Brian Tracy, who's a business coach, talking about this? Says people just go in there and say, "Oh, I'm never going to be able to be wealthy. I'm never going to be able to be healthy. I'm never going to be able to lose this weight." Listen to how they talk. It's coming right there from the heart. You have heart brain coherence or incoherence. So if you can't speak into this, is because that's what you literally feel about yourself. You have this low self value system, this low self value, self identity that you've created for yourself. You're proving yourself to be inadequate. But at the throat, you have proving superiority. What does that mean? Like I just told you, we have this image management. You have this I must achieve, I must have admiration, external validation. I must have superiority performance. I must speak, I'm amazing. You can speak you're amazing and not do shit. You can do that too. I'm telling you, it happens. It makes sense. So then, if you keep moving up at the third eye, next mistake can go is competition versus community. Now, these came from Adlerian psychology. Alfred Adler was the gentleman that I studied whenever I created this philosophy. And Adler focused on teleology. It's not called etiology. That's Sigmund Freud. As you go into a shrink's office and you sit there on the couch and you tell them about your childhood. You say, "Well, I was 5 years old. My father screamed at me for doing such and such and some. When I was 3 years old, my mom came in the room." And then you start going through all the things in the past. That's etiology. You're blaming your present moment on the past, even though you're recreating it by bringing up the past. There's teleology. Teleology says, I had a goal of going across the street, so I went across the street. I had a goal of going to Ivy League college, so I got accepted to Ivy League college. I had a goal to run 5 miles today, and I got up and I ran 5 miles today. That's teleology. I tell myself what to do. That's why these mistaken goals actually make sense. Because people are doing things, events in their life, to fulfill these mistaken goals. And the last one is approval seeking. See, the one prior was competition versus community, meaning I'm competing with somebody else. I'm telling you that these are mistaken goals. That's why you're looking for validation from likes, followers, admiration. You're looking left and right in comparison mode. When you get to approval seeking, you're asking somebody for permission to be yourself. Now, do you understand how this whole thing comes to fruition? You're asking somebody to be yourself. You're asking someone permission. Mom, can I express myself today? Dad, can I express myself today? Can I wear this? Can I say this? Can I eat this? You haven't made the choice for yourself. You haven't put your hand on the hot stove and got your ass burnt. You haven't done it. You haven't experienced it. You just believe that that's what's going to happen because they told you that's what's going to happen. But you need to do it for yourself. See if you're going to get burnt. That's how human beings lose themselves through social conditioning. See, mistaken goals, you have, again, these programs that are occurring, this conditioning that's occurring, and these are affecting, again, we do everything by seven. in my philosophy because it's based on seven chakras. So you heard in the Bible seven deadly sins. Okay, well we have seven demons, other chakras. We also have seven life areas. These are your life areas. Your life areas are your spiritual area, your mental area, your vocational area, what you do for service, your social area, your financial area, your familial area, and your physical area. And these things are actually in the same order as the chakras. So at the physical life area, you have the root. At the familial area, you have the sacral. At the financial area, you have the solar plexus, your gut. Social area, you have the heart. Okay, vocational area, you have the throat. Mental area, you have your third eye. And then spiritual area, obviously, you have the crown. And how do they all make sense? Easy. At the crown, the spiritual center. This is going to be the broadcasting station and receiving set of what you desire for you in your life and what you're going to draw into your life and what you're going to get back. Okay? And then at that area, right under it, it's going to be the mental area. You're going to have that because you get third eye. This is going to be your imaginations, things that you're going to create for yourself, see yourself in. You're vocational. Somebody asks you, what do you do? You answer. When somebody comes to me and says, what do you do? I'm a transformation architect. I am the ultimate holistic wellness life coach. I do everything. I do I do physical training. I do plant-based dieting. I do detoxification. Okay. I do psychology. I do everything that can get the organisms, 12 systems back online. 12 systems back online. Endocrine system, lymphatic system, the lymphatic system, which is also a part of that cleansing process, cardiac, okay, muscle, bone. I'm in here to refuel the entire system. I don't believe in just one part. I believe in healing all parts at the same time. So then you have the heart. Why is the heart social? Because if you don't open your heart, you ain't never gonna be social. You'll be hiding in the cave. When you open up your heart, you go in to connect yourself with other people. How about the solar plexus, your financial center? Well, the drive and the fire for you to be something in your will occurs inside your gut. It needs to be balanced. How about the solar plexus? After that, you have the sacral, your familial. Well, where do you make the kids from? You make the kids from sex. Sex occurs obviously at the root and the sacral, so pleasure center. So that's why the sacral takes care of the familial. And the root is the ankles, the knees, the genitals, the adrenals. That's going to be the root. So this lower body, posterior chain, that's the root. That's your physical. When you do not empower yourself in any of these life areas, somebody else is going to do it for you. So if you don't empower yourself financially, somebody else will do it for you. If you don't empower yourself physically, someone else will do it for you. If you don't empower yourself vocationally, someone else will do it for you. You'll become an employee. You should probably become an entrepreneur if you want to get more. That's just how it works in your head. Okay? Now let's keep going. We're going to drop down to this and we're going to get to the transformation process, 13 steps. You have two sides again. On one side, you'll have fantasy, infatuation. This is where your polarized view of perspective. You met somebody, they look phenomenal. You think that they fit all the boxes, and all of a sudden you start to say, "This person will complete me. This person is amazing. This person was going to complete me. This person is going to make me feel so wonderful. This person will make me feel so great." You are exaggerating the positives of this person, and you are suppressing the negatives. They have red flags all over the fucking place. But because you're so infatuated, because you're just so horny, or because you're just so I'll say polarized because you're driven to get something like you want to consume them. Literally, you want to consume them. That you are just suppressing everything negative about the person. You don't even want to think that this person got a bad thing inside of you. And that's where infatuation lies. Fantasy lies. You're living in fantasy land. You're saying, if I go here, if I work here, my life is going to be complete. If I get this thing, when I get this money, whatever you're thinking about in terms of infatuation, it's gonna fuck you up because you're living in a polarized perspective, all the way to the opposite side. You can also be in a nightmare perspective, where you wake up in a nightmare every single day. Many of y'all are married. You look at your spouse left and right, and you have resentment because on the other side of fantasy, infatuation is a nightmare and resentment. You're living in a nightmare. You told yourself you're in a nightmare. You told yourself that the person right next to you ruined your entire life. Oh, you just made my life feel so awful. Everything is your fault. And here's the thing: you want somebody to tell you everything's your fault, but not based upon their values. You want them to tell you everything's your fault based on your values, because everything is your fault. You don't want to not be empowered where someone tells you that it's this is the cause. You don't want nobody to tell you that. It ain't Trump, it ain't the government, it ain't none of that other shit. It's you. It's how you're seeing the world. It's you. I'm telling y'all that it's you. When I woke up to this, I actually figured out how to move forward in my life and get out of a ditch. Stop blaming. Okay? When I tell someone, hey, everything's your fault, it's your fault. You're supposed to say thank you. You're supposed to be grateful for that information. Because then it says, okay, look at my life now. How is my life at this moment in time? Oh, I can change it. It's because it's my fault. Because I'm the cause of my effects. That's the universal law. You see what I'm saying? So now, whenever you have this exaggerated negative, now it's complete opposite. You're in infatuation mode. You're exaggerating the positives, suppressing the negatives. Now you're exaggerating the negatives. Your husband sucks. Your wife is awful. They don't have any ambition. They don't have any dreams or goals. They don't think big. They don't think anything. They're too small. They're too weak-minded. And you know what? In some cases, they may be. In some places, in some categories, they may not be the person that you want to tell your dreams and goals to. Okay? No problem. You know what also happened? You didn't go in there with your list of values and you picked wrong. So it's still your fault. It's still your fault because you were infatuated. They had nice ass, nice tits. They had nice legs. They had their calves was big, feet was sexy, their hair looked good, and it skewed your perspective. So then you had this infatuation. That's why you didn't go through a list of value hierarchy. You skipped over that because you were polarized again. Because most men lead with their dick and their penis. Most women also do the same thing. If y'all horny too, y'all thinking the same way. What can I get physically? It's not the way you want to live. You don't want to be driven by your root chakra. You want to be driven by your head. Okay, but these all have to be balanced for you to be thinking correctly. These can't be out of line. Your first three chakras are going to be energy consumers: your root, your sacral, your solar plexus. They move fluids through your body. They transform food that you eat into you, into your blood. They transform, literally, they transform into you. Whatever you eat becomes a part of you. You see what I'm saying? So whatever you drink becomes a part of you. You drink alcohol, it becomes a part of you. You smoke weed, it becomes a part of you. Is that what you really want? So just think about how it works. If you exaggerate the negatives, you don't even look for something to be grateful for in this person. That person was never a narcissist. That person was never a manipulator. They weren't gaslighting your ass. No, because the first time you met him, was that happening? The first time that you met him? No. You all of a sudden jumped into a survival mode. And now, because you have the survival based self image, you see everything through survival mode. There's two modes. There's ANS nervous system, which is the autonomic nervous system. You have parasympathetic, and you have sympathetic. This is how simple this is. Parasympathetic, sympathetic. On one end, parasympathetic is rest and digest. Okay, rest and digest. The opposite end, you have sympathetic, which is fight or flight. So what does that mean? That means one of them puts you in chronic stress, sympathetic resonance. One of you puts you back in rest and digest, which is not fight or flight, which is not chronic stress, which is going to be you actually keep the blood in your visceral organs. Your visceral organs are the organs up here. Okay, you can say in torso, or the organs above the waist. You're going to have all these organs here that house the systems inside of your body. Okay, now these systems here, they have to produce energy, they have to reproduce in terms of raising your obviously men, your sperm are the basically spines at the top of your head, spinal fluid. You can produce children in this way. So in this case, you also digest your food. You create energy. So if you are stuck in survival sympathetic resonance, you know what happens to men? I'll give you an overview. In survival mode, you tend to want to ejaculate more because you're living in survival mode. That's why you see them hopping from place to place. Women don't even have the libido. They don't have it. It dries up because you don't have any fluids because stress is caused by dehydration. Stress is caused by dehydration. So you need to understand that your cells reject water. They reject water. If you drink a gallon of water, they flood your cells out every single time you drink water. You just be expanding the entire time. It's just water. It's going everywhere, and you just be like a big bloated magnet. It's not how you work. Okay? They stop. It's why the best thing for you to do is to consume water. We're getting to this H3O2, which is eating your water, which is eating your fruits. So again, that's your polarized perspective. You said this person ruined me on one end. This person will complete you on the opposite end. And you abandon yourself when you do that. You literally abandon yourself when you do that. You literally have blindness. You live in this attachment mode. On this end, it's even worse because you're in anger. You're a demonization, making somebody look like they're corrupted and they're not. Nothing wrong with them. They ain't doing anything to you. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost there. Almost done. I'm gonna keep this going. So here is here is the part that you're gonna learn of transformation. I will write down the 13 steps of transformation and I'll talk about them briefly. Okay. So, and then we'll get into this value hierarchy system because I just need people to understand how to learn about themselves. Okay. But here are the 13 steps. And I'll write them down from 13 all the way down. Let me get my stool. Okay. That's how I can draw this on the board real quick for you guys. So at 13, you're going to have self-sustaining transformation. So here's the goal. Self-sustaining. That's going to be the goal. Self-sustaining transformation. That's going to be the last step. Now I'm going to go down the line in reverse. At number 12, we'll have the science of scaling. Okay, and that's going to be something profound too, because we're going to expand without losing coherence. At number 11, we're going to have purpose. We're going to have purpose, value, and contribution. You're going to learn what your purpose is, what your values are, and how you can contribute those. That's utterly important for you waking up in a great state of mind every single day. At number 10, we're going to have frequency, and environmental coherence. Now, this is big, okay, because people forget that they live on a planet that's alive, and that's a part of them. People litter, they throw trash, they throw debris, and they literally don't understand that the sensory that they feel, okay, is due to them in alignment with the earth. I'm just in alignment with the earth. You are earth. I'm just gonna give you a heads up. Don't think that the earth is something separate from you. It's not. You are a part of it. At number 9, you have movement and you have bioelectric activation. I'm writing this also for my own to be able to follow with you guys. So you have movement, bioelectric activation. You have to understand how this works. You have to restore your structural integrity. So you got to get to a place stretch. People don't stretch. People don't do yoga. People don't do Pilates class. They go to the gym to pick up heavy weight. And also the opposite is true, where they only do yoga and they only do Pilates class and they don't get any strength, or they don't get stronger. They don't pick up anything. You gotta have both. You can't have one or the other. You can do calisthenics, but you also gotta do calisthenics and go to the gym. You can't just do one or the other. It has to be all. You have to do all facets of training have to be incorporated into what you do. All of them should be. Okay. You have that number 8. You have sexual energy. Sexual energy reclamation. You have to reclaim your sexual energy. And this is actually really powerful and really big. And the reason why you have to do this is because if you don't restore your intimacy, if you don't restore the things that make you feel pleasure, okay, you lose your life force. You literally lose your vitality. So you can restore that life force and restore the proper direction where life force goes. You don't be polarized by, you don't be led again. Don't be led by your penis, man. That shit ain't cool. Don't be led by the wrong head. Okay? You have to have the right head to lead you. But this one still provides you pleasure. Find somebody who you actually want to entangle yourself with. Watch, it changes. It's night and day when you find somebody who actually is in alignment with you and your end goal. You have your conscious language. Conscious language. Many people just speak and they don't know what they're saying. So you have to program yourself through your speech. That's the law of vibration. What you say is what you're going to create. I'm telling y'all, y'all gonna get this. Y'all getting this knowledge today. Okay. At number 6 is going to be shadow integration. Now you all heard a couple of years, so I think it was last year and the year before. Shadow work. Shadow work was big. And you can always tell what the field is attempting to do with people because you can see the trends. There'll be trends. Shadow work was a trend about 2 years ago. So what happened is it's integration. It's just what that really means is the shadow really means is you have two sides to yourself. You are the hero, you are the villain in the story. You are not one-sided. You don't walk around acting like you got to be positive every day. That shit is not real. Okay? You can be positive. Trust me. It's right for you to be positive sometimes. It's wonderful for you to be positive. You have to do it sometimes. But you can't walk around and fake it the entire time. That's not how it works. That's delusional. You're being delusional. Okay? You have to actually be honest. Emotional honesty. That's emotional honesty. Don't fake that shit. Okay? Because that's going to be betrayal. That's self-betrayal. So, shadow work, shadow language. You've got to reclaim your rejected self, the part that you refuse to acknowledge. Okay, you don't become unconditionally loving by rejecting one half of yourself. You've got to be able to integrate both sides. So just because somebody doesn't like the fact that you're disciplined, because they look at discipline like it's a prison, you look at discipline like it's freedom. You should probably find somebody who looks at discipline like it's freedom. Because if you look at somebody, if you go around somebody who thinks discipline is a prison, you're always going to be wrong in their eyes. That's why these relationships are struggling because y'all don't understand each other's fucking values. Okay, so metacognition at number 5, you have metacognition, which I will define metacognition and perception balancing. This is actually really powerful stuff. We're going to get to part of this at this moment right here. Metacognition and perception balancing. Okay. What metacognition is, it's thinking about what you've been thinking about in the greatest way. When you're thinking about what you've been thinking about, that's how you actually understand self-observation. You're thinking about the things that have sabotaged you that don't actually exist. There's no such thing as self-sabotage. It doesn't actually make sense. You see, you're thinking that things happen by chance or happen by accident. That's not how it works. Okay, it's happening based upon what you think and what you express out to the field. You have nervous system regulation, which we just did a part of. Nervous system regulation, that's going to be number 4. All right, and I'm going to write the next ones over here so you can see them. Nervous system regulation, that's going to be 4. And here is going to be at the beginning where we're going to do circadian rhythm timing. Here, this is big for you guys to understand that you live under a clock. You have a clock. And just to give you guys a heads up, if you go into my profile and click onto my detoxification formulas, awaken and replenish, these are time release formulas. They follow the circadian rhythm. So you have an awaken, which is the morning, which is the daytime formula that works with the daytime organs and the circadian Chinese medicine has a clock. that basically says every 2 hours there is an organ that is being specified, that is being worked on through your body, what's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus inside your brain. You have to have the right timing, the right time release ingredients. So I have things like gold, colloidal gold, colloidal silver. I have things like copper. I have things like colloidal iron. I have things like saffron, ashwagandha, Irish moss. I have over 50 plus herbs inside of my formulas. I have shilajit. I have things that literally are antimicrobial, antifungal, antioxidizing. It is a complete formula that not only does it target all 12 systems of the human body at the same time, it's also infused with what's called Solfeggio sound frequencies. Sound frequencies. I'll brief you on that before I get out of here too. Sound frequencies are literally from Royal Raymond Rife. Rife, back in 1936, I believe, won the Nobel Prize for he was targeting cancer cells, tumor cells, and he can zap them away with frequency, sound frequency. You can look up Rife machines. They still have them to this day. Okay, frequency. Frequency can put fires out. Okay, frequency can kill tumors. Frequency can do everything because that's part of the spectrum. The color spectrum, the sound spectrum. Okay, you have frequency. Now, when you time these herbs and these transitional metals, shilajit, and you time all of these things at the right times to be released, you have the process of digestion, elimination. Overnight, you're cleansing your lymphatic system. This is why my formulas are so powerful. You only need 4 ounces. Get 4 ounces gets you 90 days. 4 ounces literally gets you 90 days of healing. Only 4 ounces, because you can't even take that much of it. You're going to be having a healing crisis the entire time. And that healing crisis is going to be putting you back. It's going to be, it's, it's going to be having you pooping and peeing. Okay, you're going to be getting rid of all types of bad energy that you had accumulated. I was peeing out parasites. I have a video on my profile if you guys check it out. I'm literally uh, I'm literally looking at my urine in the toilet bowl, and I got parasites in there. I was peeing out parasites. Just so happy that they got out of my body because you have to kill parasites and flush them at the same time. And this also comes from time release because in the morning time, I'll give you guys I'll reveal this clock before I get into it. At 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Okay, or let's go 1 3 a.m. At 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's your liver. That's your liver functioning. At 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. That's your lungs functioning. Your lungs begin to cleanse. The energy is flowing through each one of the organs. At 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., that's going to be your large intestine. You're getting ready to eliminate. At 7 to 9 a.m., that's going to be your stomach. So what's happening is overnight, you're cleansing the lymphatic system. Now you're creating the waste. When you get up in the morning, you have to remove it. Go poop. Go pee. Drink some water. You should be able to get it right out of you, right there, and recharge your battery. This is how this works. And I've learned over time to give myself the right ingredients at the right time, and it works even better. So you've got things like ginkgo biloba. You got things like maca root, not matcha, maca root in the morning time. Yohimbe, which is an African herb. You got things from all over the world. Thai, Indian. I have pink lotus, blue lotus from Egypt to help you overnight. Shatavari, mugwort. There's things in there that you can't even go to the grocery store to get. You have to go find these things. Okay, so if you were to actually go do it yourself, it costs you about $5,000 because I have 12 mineral cell salts, potassium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, silica, 12 cell salts. If you look up Dr. Schuessler, 12 mineral cell salts, I put a complete formula in here. The complete formula in here. So I'm telling y'all, when y'all start this process off, you're going to go through a healing crisis. And you're going to keep the crisis going, okay, but keep working through it, changing your perceptions, training your body. There's a program that goes along with it. And you ain't got to call me. You just got to keep going through the program. Keep walking one step, keep walking one step forward. Nah, you ain't going to die. Your old self's going to die. So your new self can be born. That's what the formulas are about. This is how the circadian rhythm timing works. Okay? Detoxification and biological interference removal. That we talked about this. I'm just gonna put this down anyway, so I'll put detoxification. Detoxification. That's gonna be step number two. Detoxification and biological interference. What that means is that when you go through this cleansing process with these herbs and these minerals and these cell salts, emotions are chemical. Okay, I'm gonna give you a heads up. Emotions are chemical. So you have what's called emotional chemistry, and you have got to change the emotional chemistry, which is why you must change your diet. But you can't just change the diet right off the bat fully. You start the process off changing your diet, but you need to cleanse yourself first. So that all of a sudden the cravings, the parasites who are telling you what to eat, because parasites are telling you to go drink alcohol. Parasites are telling you to go smoke weed, eat fast food. It's parasites. They're telling you to do all that shit. They're in your body, these fucking worms inside your body. I used to have epilepsy, so I used to have seizures. I used to have seizures, and I used to have what's called myoclonic jerking, where you have like this tensed up and you're just doing this, and you can't move, and you can't speak. I used to have ringworms in my head. I used to have like a sickness pretty much every 2 or 3 weeks. Mononucleosis. I used to have all types of acidic functions inside my body that were just killing me when I was younger. I was sick all the time. I couldn't put on any weight. So it's like once I got through the process, man, you feel free in your body because you feel free inside your mind. So those 13 stages, okay, and you're gonna learn again. They're gonna rebuild. It's gonna rebuild your biology, nervous system, your emotions, your relationships, your identity, your sexual energy. Thankfully, your purpose, you'll find your purpose, and your life force. Now, why does this actually matter? Okay, and this matters because the simple fact most people attempt to change their behavior without changing the internal environment that keeps producing the behavior. Why is that? Why is that? Because proteins plus signal equal behavior. This is all behavior. This is all behavior. And image management, people pleasing, okay? Followers, admiration, attention, self betrayal, those are behaviors that you're expressing because of your emotional chemistry. Because you don't understand that proteins plus signal equal behavior. Proteins are the raw building blocks that you put inside your body. What you eat, what you drink, what you think. Proteins. What you eat, what you drink, what you think. Those are proteins. Eat, drink, think. The signal. Where's the signal? The signal is all around you. Signal is all around you. Its signal is all around you, and you taking it in based upon your perceptions. It's based upon your perceptions. That's the signal. All right, let's keep going. So that's 13 stages. What we're gonna go through is I'm gonna do each one. I'm gonna do each one, and I'm just gonna talk you through it. So I'm gonna speak each one by one. So and I'm gonna give you a solution set. So what you gotta do now at the first stage, and let me order these real quick. So this is gonna be. I'll write down the numbers. So 13, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. This is 3, 2, 1. Now I'm ordering each one of them. So you're going to learn again how this works. All right. So at the first stage, collapse and awareness. I didn't speak of it, I'm speaking on it now. Whenever you have collapse and awareness, you have got to rebuild this inner environment. This inner environment has got to be rebuilt. So what are you going to do? I'm giving you guys a solution set. All right. So the solution set is going to be utterly not. It won't be simple. All right. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It won't be simple. So let me not say that. Okay. It won't be simple. This isn't supposed to be a simple process. Change is supposed to be something that's supposed to be easy. Change is supposed to be something that's it's fulfilling. It doesn't mean it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to just be fulfilling. So When you recognize your patterns before you're trying to escape them, this is what collapse and awareness is. Your body exposes the pattern before the mind understands the pattern. Your body's exposing yourself to it. You have a morning practice. This is what you need to do. Your morning practice is you have to, first of all, improve your sleep quality. Okay? Improve your sleep quality. Improve the dreams. All right? Also, how you do that is don't eat, don't eat too close to bed. Cut your food off by about 7, 8 p.m. Don't eat too close to bed. Don't drink yourself to sleep. Don't smoke yourself to sleep. Don't drink no caffeine too late in the day. If you do drink caffeine, don't do that. Okay, let yourself be able to rest and relax yourself. And then you have waking energy. Waking energy is what you want to do at this process overnight is you want to make sure that you're waking up yourself with some breath work, with some affirmations playing, write down inside your journal. You have a bowel movement because you need to hydrate. You've got to hydrate. So make sure that you satisfy your cravings with in the morning time with some fruit, some fiber, some high fiber, fibrous type of fruit. Apples good, pears good. Even have some watermelon, some grapes, things that are some mangoes that you can cleanse yourself with and hydrate with. All right. You regulate your mood before you get out the front door. Do not leave the house until you tell yourself how you want to feel. All right. Make sure your sexual energy is good. Make sure it's good. Make sure that you're balanced. Make sure that your physical tension is diminished so that you can be able to speak calmly. Don't get in the car, drink your coffee, start cursing everybody all on the highway, and what the fuck are you doing? Don't do all that shit. That just means that you went to bed dysregulated, you woke up dysregulated. That's that's not what you need. All right. And then at the evening, you have an evening practice. The evening practice is going to be make sure you limit the emotional triggers. Limit the emotional triggers. Don't talk to people prior to sleeping that trigger you. Don't call your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. Don't talk to your ex-wife, your ex-husband. Don't talk to your husband, your wife, your kids. Just go find a room, separate yourself, put yourself in a quiet place or space. Get yourself away from these damn screens. Okay, so no stressful conversations. Do your best to avoid that. I had a problem with stressful conversations because I most of the time I never had no time. So I would attempt to talk and I would have a conversation. And usually people would be like, whether it be my ex-wife, whether it be my parents or somebody I'm dating, I would just find a time whenever it came to me to talk. So what happened was they didn't have the capacity to hold the conversation. Okay. So give it some time. What you also have is just reactions. You have compulsive urges. Compulsive urges. These urges are going to be coming to you to go grab something, to go eat, to go get something bad for you to go consume. Don't do it. Do not do it. You don't have to do it. Let that go. Okay? And what that means is also you have crashes. Caffeine is going to cause you to crash early in the day. It's also going to ruin your energy because caffeine blocks your adenosine receptors. You can't create energy and you can't also know what energy you do have or don't have. It blocks those receptors from telling you that. So avoid inflammatory foods, avoid emotional suppression. If you're feeling something, let it out. Let it out. Do not cry yourself to sleep. Don't do that. Let it out. Write it out. Okay? Overstimulation. Turn off the Wi-Fi. Get rid of the blue screens. And also relationship dynamics. Be peaceful with your partnership. Be open with your partnership. All right? It's awareness. That's the first act of your freedom. Awareness. You'll see it based upon self-observation. Now, here's the part on detoxification. This stretches a little bit. Now, you have to restore your internal environment. And this is where this is going to come from. The body cannot perceive clearly in the field through inflammation, dehydration, mineral depletion, gut disturbance, and survival chemistry. It doesn't happen. So what you need to do at this element, this number two, is you have the first thing, mineralized hydration. You need to start to get minerals. So it's water first, trace minerals. Negative ORP water is going to be what you want. Not go, don't go to the grocery store, go get alkaline water. Go to the grocery store and get negative ORP. You can look up a company that's called freshpure.com. Fresh Pure. I give this to everyone that comes to my profile. You will see it. Freshpure.com. Look up a location for a dispensary near you. You heard of a Kangen machine. A Kangen water machine is negative 639 ORP. I also provide these in my high level coaching programs. But in my low level, I'll just tell you where to go get it. You can self service for yourself. It's about 99 cents to $1.29 a gallon. Go get a 5 gallon container, go fill up your own jug. It is remarkable. It's about negative 219 ORP, and it's still great. That's called oxidation reduction potential. It's how you move and cleanse the bowels. It's how you move and cleanse your system and get yourself hydrated. Drinking bottled water dehydrates you. Drinking these waters inside of these gallon jugs dehydrates you. So you need to go get your own that's charged up. You see all the bubbles inside of it. You see everything inside of it. It's all charged up, electrified water. Okay. Next is going to be alkaline nourishment. I eat a plant-based diet. I love plant-based diet because they give me the energy. When you eat food that does not have any energy, you are going closer to death. Processed foods, inflammatory foods, meats, dairy products, those have low angstroms of energy. I'll give you a chart on what angstroms mean. So angstroms are the measurement of wavelength that also measures your DNA. If you have fruits and vegetables, raw fruits, raw vegetables, they get you about 8 to 10,000. So I was right, 8K to 10K. It's raw fruits, raw vegetables. Now about 6 to 8 is going to be cooked, and I'll say 6 to 8K. That's going to be cooked vegetables and fruits. Then you're going to have nuts and seeds, which is going to be, I believe it's right next to that, so you can say 4 to 6. I have a chart that's on my profile and on the website. And then under that, anything under that, at zero is going to be alcohol, processed meat, or fried foods, things like that. It's going to be zero. It won't have any angstroms of energy. To give you a heads up, a healthy person is about 6,500 angstroms of energy. That's like a cell phone that's got about 60, 70% battery. A person that's in low power mode that has cancer has about 4,850 angstroms of energy in low power mode. That's how quick it goes. So you got to make sure that you're consuming things that are good. So alkaline nourishment, it's going to be root vegetables, leafy greens, colorful foods that match the chakra systems. I have that chart in my book as well, Orgasmic Power. You're going to see all of it. You can go to the 90-day formula. Click the link in my profile. You can also get a free starter kit. I give you a 1 week meal preparation guide that tells you 2 days. Sunday and Wednesday, you can meal prep. It gives you a shopping guide. It gives you some samples, recipes of what you can create and make for that week. You can alter it and adjust it however you want. It's just to introduce you to plant-based. Okay. Now you have gut and liver support, which is going to be bitter greens, fermented foods, digestive herbs like trifala, um, cascara. You're going to have burdock root, dandelion root. Things are all going to be inside of my herbal formulas, Awaken and Replenish. I have all of these things in there. Liver herbs. All right. That's burdock root. It's going to be a blood cleanser. Cell salt replenishment. You're going to have potassium phosphate, magnesium phosphate, sodium chloride, iron phosphate, silica, calcium phosphate. These things are the 12 mineral cell salts. These are the building blocks of your body. It's also inside of my formulas, herbal formulas. They're integrated within that as well. You have herbal allies with ashwagandha, again, sea moss, Irish moss, sarsaparilla, sarsaparilla. Awesome things that you're going to be able to cleanse yourself, antioxidizing, antimicrobial. I have wormwood, I have black walnut, I have parasite killers and flushers. I kill and I get them. I kill and I get them out. Okay, they can't lay eggs or regenerate. We kill them, we get them out. And lastly, you have bowel regularity. You begin to sweat. You begin to have lymphatic flow. You begin to breathe through your skin. Your skin's the largest organ connected to your brain. Understand? Your cell membrane works. That's where you get the signal from, the cell membrane. Parasite terrain. All right. Detoxification removes what's called the static. so your body can hear itself again. That's the most wonderful thing that you can have. Circadian rhythm timing. You teach the body what time it is. That may sound crazy, but you got to teach your body what time it is. I used to work overnight at a hotel overnight, and it was rough because I was going against my circadian clock so much. I cannot regulate my emotions and my hormones or recover properly because didn't have biological timing. And I used to go to basketball practice at my junior college right after that, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was crazy. It was crazy what I was doing. So here's your solution set. Morning sunlight. When you get up in the morning, natural light. Within 30 to 60 minutes, no sunglasses. Just get up in the morning, go walk outside, get natural sunlight. I take my dog on for a walk. As soon as I feed him, we go out, we go take a walk, and I come back and I start getting my work done. Media, content, whatever I start getting all this stuff done after I take him walk. We go get that early morning sunlight. Consistent sleep window, same bedtime, same wake up time. 7 to 9 hours, please. Same bedtime, same wake up time. Do your best. Start the process off, at least give it to 11. Cut it off at 11. 11 is when your gallbladder, which begins to secrete stomach bile, that's when that starts to take effect. At least make it 11 o'clock. Just don't go past that. You don't need to keep going past that. Blue light reduction. Reduce after sunset. Use warm lighting on your phone. So they usually have a trigger or a system or like a map that you can do on your iPhone, your iPad, that at a certain time it cuts it off and it uses warm lighting. No screens in the bed. No screens in the bed. No text messaging. That don't text message yourself to sleep. No screens in the bed. Discipline yourself. Okay. Organ clock awareness. You're going to honor the organ cycles, work with the circadian rhythms, not work against it. Structured meal timing. Eat with purpose. You don't have to go 3 to 4 meals a day. Okay, but you can have an avocado as a meal. You can have some fruit as a meal. You can have one big meal, and the big meal should be in the middle of the day. Okay, because your small intestine is about 2 p.m. Your heart is about 11 a.m. 11 to about 1 to 3. You're gonna have your small intestine, you have your kidney, your bladder. So you need to understand that this is how it works. The middle of the day, you should be able to fill yourself up. Evening down regulation, you're gonna have slower stimulation. Breathe, you stretch, prepare for sleep. Get yourself ready to go to bed at night. Number four, nervous system regulation, teaching your body that the present is not the past. The body must learn safety so it stops living in survival mode. Go with breath work. Again, we talked about box breathing. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds. Body scanning awareness. Note attention, observe sensations, rebuild interoception. Notice when you're feeling some type of way, how you're feeling. Notice it. Morning and night. Grounding in nature. Barefoot when safe. And this is good. Touch the earth. Be barefoot in the earth. Time in nature. Reset your system. Or you can also do this. Here is called a grounding cord. I'm wearing one right now. This is the grounding cord right here. You can get it from Amazon, Amazon.com. $10, Amazon.com. There's 9 feet, 15 feet. This is a grounding wrist strap. This is a copper plate. You can put it onto your wrist like this. And what you do is you will plug it in. You see this here? You take this, you plug this in. This other end right here goes into the wall, into the prong inside of the wall. You plug it in. Like where you plug in the lamp, you plug it in to the circular part of the wall. That is a grounding cable that grounds the buildings that you are living in. What happens is when the electricity, if the thunder strikes the building, it dissipates and goes around the building down to the ground. That's how you actually are as a human being. If you are grounded, when you're grounded, you let the energy go through you. You see, I'm wearing what's called an insulator. If you go to a power plant, to electrical power plant, you'll see this. This is an isolator where it just isolates the electricity. So they also have what's called a lightning arrestor. And this lightning arrestor, whenever you get struck by lightning, if you do get struck by lightning, it sends the charge, the excess plasma down to the ground. So something that's radiating, that's heightened level of anger, something that's coming to you, it's going to be dissipated down to the ground. So get yourself one. That's an easy way for you to become grounded. Where, whenever you're in the house, whenever you are, or if you have a home gym, you're working out, I do it. Whenever you're at the desk working, or if you're on the phone talking to somebody, wear it. Ground yourself. You also have movement discharge. You need to walk, take a walk, stretch, okay? Strength train yourself. You get yourself a home gym, get yourself some bands, something that you can do. Release your stress some way. Don't just not work out. You need to move that energy to your system. You have to have moments of silence. 10 to 20 minutes is really good. Just be silent with yourself. No stimulation, reset your attention. And this what it does is it resets the system. It calms the overload down, protects your attention. So you're choosing your inputs, you're guarding your system. Okay? This is the good part about this because whenever you do these processes, all right, you're getting into rebuilding your system and your core, getting your energy back online. But now we're going to get to identity, sexual energy reset. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. Now, at stages 5 to 8, metacognition, perception balancing. This is where we're going to do, you understand that your mind must observe perception before becoming controlled by your beliefs. Perception is beliefs. Your mind must observe your belief before being controlled by it. If you have an incomplete perception, that creates an emotional charge. If you have an event, and this happens to anything, I don't care if it's rape, domestic abuse, an accident, whatever. If you have a polarized way of looking at it, you don't see the gratitude in it. You only see a negative inside of it. Okay, you're always going to be charged by it, emotionally charged. Balance returns emotional neutrality. So here's what you got to do. Write down the emotionally charged event clearly and factually. Factually. Not based upon your perceptions of it, your subconscious bias of it. If you did this, you did this. If you did that, you did that. Write it down. Record the biased reaction to the memory. Maybe you had something inside your chest, inside your gut, inside your throat, but you have to write that down. Identify the emotional story that you continue to repeat. Okay, and then balance your perception. What did this experience also teach you? Maybe you had a breakup, maybe you had a divorce. Identify the unconscious goal behind the behavior. The unconscious goal. That's the mistaken goal. Seeking attention, power struggle, revenge, emotional charge. What happens, there's outcomes. The charge goes away. It weakens, it goes away. Your perspective becomes balanced. Now you can see things clearly. Okay, your activity decreases, and your clarity replaces what you were stored in your mistaken goal. You have clarity now. Now you can move forward. That's what number 5. Your outside world reflects the story your nervous system believes to be true. Okay, now we're gonna go at 6. Shadow language, shadow integration, and emotional processing. What you reject internally returns through projection, tension, symptoms, and behavior. When you reclaim the rejected self, it restores wholeness and emotional freedom. Identify traits that you judge strongly in other people. I'm telling you, you got it. Find where the same trait exists within you. Journal unfinished emotions, grief, anger, fear, or shame. Allow safe physiological release. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to breathe, breathe. If you need to move, move. If you need to express, express. Go for it. And you're doing this amongst yourself. I'm showing you how you heal yourself. Okay? Transform the trait into a strength instead of suppressing it. That's how you integrate it. It may be discipline, like I said. It may be spontaneity. It may be freedom, flow. It may be promiscuity. Shit. You may be some stiff, rigid person that doesn't express himself at all. Maybe you need to be a little bit more flirtatious. It may be things that you look at and judge in other people, and it's because you're not accepting those things that are within yourself. So again, your projections dissolve, your emotional weight is released, Self-acceptance also increases, and then authenticity becomes natural. You just naturally become authentic because you don't have anything that's resisting inside of you. You see, that's where the resistance comes from. If you can have relentless non-resistance to things, it shifts your perspectives. It changes. Okay? And this is where you'll have, again, conscious language, identity reconstruction. You have to here, learn this part. The law of vibration is powerful. Repeated language becomes identity instruction because your words program your nervous system. So speak in a way that creates the life that you choose. Track your repeated phrases for 7 days. Money's the root of all evil. That's I'm telling you, these shit is common. Okay? Love doesn't exist for me. I'm I'm never gonna be wealthy. All types. You start this route. Just write down what you consistently repeat, and just ask your mind to track the phrases that you repeat, that you live by, those things that you live by. Replace identity statements with observational statements. You see things at that moment. I see people make choices with their money. It's not the root of all evil. I just see people make choices with their money that may not be conducive to success. It doesn't mean that you just pass judgment. Remove exaggerated absolutes. So stop saying always. Stop saying never. Stop saying everyone. That's what you need to understand. That's conscious language. You don't know everyone. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't ever, never happen. That's not true. You have to speak honestly. That's conscious language. Speak from sensation, not from accusation. And you install one identity behavior or statement connected to your daily behavior. So that's literally like saying something completely different than what you've been talking about. I am disciplined. I achieve my goals. I am a reader. I am a high achiever. You just start to say things that you believe about yourself, that you desire to believe about yourself. You don't keep repeating the same things all over and over again. And when you start to say I'm a high achiever, you do a high achieving thing that day. You start to say I'm a reader, you start to read pages every single day. I'm a researcher, you start to research every single day. You must tell yourself things that you want to be in alignment with. Your self-image now becomes empowering. Communication becomes truthful because you just lying the entire time. You're living a lie. You're never something that can relax. And then at the eighth, here's a really powerful thing for you guys to do. That- Number eight, sexual energy reclamation. Sexual energy becomes distorted when used for validation, for escape, for control, or for fantasy. When it's reclaimed, it becomes creativity, vitality, intimacy, and life force direction. You need to remove your compulsive overstimulation for 30 days. If that's pornography, if that is you literally live to have sex, you're really going in to stimulate yourself with something, a dopamine hit, a dopamine hit. Remove that thing. Video games, even. That's also, yeah, food. Some people have food. They use food as something that's sexual too. Track your emotional state underneath your sexual urges. What's your emotional state underneath your sexual urges? Because they have one. You have one. You have to track it. Reconnect your breath again to your pelvis. Inhale softly. Exhale long, preferably through your nose. Breathing through your mouth gets you into sympathetic resonance. Breathing through your nose, parasympathetic resonance. Keep breathing through your nose. Long inhalation in your nose, long out of your nose. It's coming from here, up here. Then, what happens then? Sensation returns. Intimacy between yourself, if you have a partner, you're married, deepens. Self respect increases. Life force is directed consciously. Now you're reclaiming your mind. I'm going to inject before I keep moving forward that whenever you start to learn value hierarchy, this is also going to change people whom you are attracted to. Okay, I guarantee you it will change that. Now, the last section, which is the expansion system. This is the system that we're going to talk about right here before we clock out of here. This is the last portion of this thing, so thank y'all for rocking with me. Almost done. I'm giving you guys as much value as I can because this is the only time I'm doing this masterclass for free. So the next time I do it, which is going to be the end of June, it's going to be $300 a person. But it's going to be the same information, even more. Okay, but just right now, I'm doing it for free, so I'm making sure that y'all get what y'all get what y'all signed up for. Rocking with me today. So at number 9, this is movement and bioelectric activation. You are in expansion now. So now you're expanding what you are. You're going to be coherent. So you're restoring structural integrity. You got to move now. Okay? Strength through length. The body cannot feel powerful while structurally it's stagnant. If you sit at a desk all day long, if you work at a call center, you work at in front of a screen all day long, you better get up and move yourself. You got to get to move yourself during the day. Get up and do some air squats. Simple. Just get up and do some simple air squats. Just boom. Just get up at your desk and do it. Hold the table and hold your desk and just do it then. Just do something where you're moving yourself in your body right then. You have to have movement to restore circulation. And also your lymph. Your lymph moves through muscle contraction. So you pump the lymph. You pump the lymph from the below the neck. It still goes all the way down to the ankles. Lymph nodes are here. They're behind the knees. They're at the ankles. They go all the way down. They come all the way back up. Go all the way down. And at the lymph, which is up here, it still also gets pumped. So your legs, strong legs, okay, clean out the lymphatic system. Strong legs, posterior chain, cleans out the glymph up here. So you need to lift something and make sure it's heavier than what you think. Wear a weight belt for safety. Okay, if you need to start off the process by getting your mobility right, so just take a plate, simple plate, just do something. This is a weight plate. I just do like this here, and I'm doing this so I can check my actual form, and I can check the balance of my form. And I'm doing this. So I can get and I can go all the way down. So if I'm doing this, I'm wide, I can go all the way down here. And I can sit and rest right here and I can pick myself right back up. That's mobility. That's the energy flow through your body. I want you to walk daily, 30 to 60 minutes before you do advanced training. That means that before you go do anything, powerful movements, walk. Just walk. Simply just walk. Train your lower body and your feet first. Okay, your squats, your lunges, calf raises, your tibialis raises, which is going to be the muscles of the front, uh, front lower leg. Use breath during stretching and mobility. Strength through length training 3 to 5 times per week. Sweat intentionally, where you can go to a sauna. This is wonderful for your body. Saunas are wonderful for your body because sweat is also a way of ridding yourself of waste. If you ever drank and had a night out drinking, you can smell the alcohol on somebody because it's coming out through their skin. Sweat. Go sweat. Training or intense walks also induce sweat. Track emotional releases during your movement. Man, look, I'll be crying. When my ex-wife dog Jade, I loved Jade passed on. I rode my bike to the gym. I was in the gym pushing the heavy sled. I was crying on my way to the gym. I was crying. When I got to the gym, I was crying. I was lifting weights. I was crying. It didn't matter what I was doing. I was letting everything go. I didn't care what was stopped. I was letting it go. I was letting it go because I was upset. I was sad. I was pruning connections, and I just understood. Okay, hey, it's gonna be all right. But prior, it was tough for me. So you have better posture, strength and mobility, increased circulation, more confidence. When you look good, man, when you feel strong, you have more confidence. Grounded presence, you have reduced tension, pain, and inflammation, and your body becomes a source of power. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful aspect. At number 10, it's frequency and environmental coherence. This is the nervous system is trained by sound, light, rhythm, tone, environment, and energy. Your environment is either regulating you or dysregulating you. It's either doing one or the other. It's either causing you to go to coherence or it's causing you to go out of coherence. Now, what to do? Solution set. What to do? You're going to remove chronic sensory chaos. Don't watch the news. I'm going to tell your ass right now. Don't watch the news. I don't know how my mom, even to this day, she has it on. I don't know if she actually watches it. And there's some people, like when I go to the gym sometimes, they put Fox News and CNN. I'll turn that shit off. Don't put that shit in front of my damn treadmill. I don't want to watch any of that sad bullshit. They're gonna polarize use by finding things that are going to cause a stir, a chaotic response inside of you. It's horrendous. So just don't watch the news. I'm telling you now. Notifications, turn them off on your cell phone. Turn them off on your cell phone. You should not be getting a charge every 5, 6 minutes if somebody text messaged you or somebody called you or somebody left a voicemail or somebody. Just leave it alone. You don't need to see a like every fucking moment or somebody posting on Facebook. Ain't your business. Let them be their business. Toxic media. That's basically polarized gossip. You're just going to listen to gossip. You don't need to be talking about other people's lives. Talk about your own life. And then just noise, just constant noise. Okay? Not harmony, just noise. Create a daily silence window. Give yourself 10 to 20 minutes. I do this pretty much not every hour, but the majority of the hours of the day. I stop myself. I give myself 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes of quiet time. I don't have to, go hide in the cave. I can just find myself a simplistic way. I can go sit in the closet and do it, but I can find time to do it. I protect my sleep environment. I keep it dark. I keep it cool. I keep it quiet. I keep the air clean. I have an air purifier. You can go get one at Target for like $30 to $40. Air purifier keeps the air clean. You use conscious vocal tone and slower speech. You just relax yourself as you're talking. Sometimes I'm charged up, but not all the time. Just sometimes I'm charged up. I'm really passionate about something. I'll speak it out. But many times I'm talking like this. Now there is so visual sound frequencies. It actually begins at 174 hertz. So I'll write these out so you guys can see it. Go on YouTube. You will find so visual sound frequencies. I will write them and I'll say them out loud. 174 hertz. It's at the bottom, the ankles. You'll have 285 hertz. That's behind the knees. You'll have 396 hertz. That's going to be the start of the root. These three are all part of the root chakra. 396 hertz. 417 hertz. It's going to be your sacral. 528 hertz. It's going to be your solar plexus. At this area too, you also have 432 hertz. So look at it from you have the Ida and the Pingala, two sides to it, 528. Then you have 639 hertz, which is going to be the area of the heart. Then you have 741 hertz, the area of the throat, 741 hertz. 852 hertz, 852, third eye. Then you have 963 hertz. All of these frequencies are connected to your seven chakras. You have nine energy centers, seven chakras. So again, at the root, you have three by itself 174, 285, 296. They all pertain to the root. And as you continue to go up after that, they go sacral, solar plexus, heart, etc. So use them. Just click. There has there is channels. I think my favorite one was Meditative Mind on YouTube. You can go in there. You can find binaural beats. Play them in your headphones. It'll calm you down. It lowers your stress, overstimulation. You get better sleep, hormone balance, deeper focus, mental clarity, emotional regulation. It's going to improve in your environment again around you. You see it differently. It becomes medicine. Now, here's your purpose, your values, and your contribution. This is where we're going to get to this part right here. Healing without direction. That becomes self obsession. You got to have direction. Purpose. Your purpose organizes your energy. It organizes your focus, your relationships, your discipline around what truly matters for you. Here is what you're going to do. Solution set. You're going to answer the 13 value hierarchy questions. Here they are right here. Number one, how do you fill your personal space? Give me your top three answers to each one of these questions. How do you fill your personal space? That's the first question. Number two, how do you spend your time? Number three, How do you spend your energy? Number 4, how do you spend your money? Number 5, where do you have the most order and organization? Number 6, where are you most reliable, disciplined, and focused? Number 7, what dominates your thoughts? Number 8, what do you visualize most? Number 9, what do you most often talk to yourself about? Number 10, what do you most often talk to other people about? Number 11, what inspires you? Number 12, what long-term goals stand the test of time? Number 13, what do you love to learn about and read about the most? Give me your top three answers to those questions. Top three answers to those questions. You're going to see that these are going to help you to figure out what you actually love to do. Now you identify your intrinsic values. That's what this is doing. What you want to do, not what somebody told you to do. And you remove the goals rooted in compensation, in fear, and shame, and approval and comparison. You stop doing things to get a dollar. You stop doing things just to get a dollar. And getting a dollar may be a value of yours. Okay? And if it is, go for it. But if it's not, if you're just working to chase the butt, if you ain't working to chase the purpose, it's going to be an empty feeling for you. Okay? So you connect daily habits to your highest values. I'm guarantee you, I'm living in my highest values right now. I'm doing exactly what I desire to do. Teach people my philosophy to help people become coherent and relentlessly non-resistant to things that they want in their life. Contribute before you feel ready. That means jump off the cliff. Contribute before you feel ready. Jump off the cliff. You will have a parachute and it will soar. You may fall a little bit at first. I fell. I'm not going to tell you it's supposed to be some easy pathway. No, no, no. But whenever you jump and you bet on yourself, it's different. You'll have a parachute. It will open for you. Just trust in the divine timing. That's provision. Life will become meaningful and aligned after this. You won't be exhausted. You won't be burnt out. You won't have anxiety. You won't have self betrayal. You won't have emotional disconnection. You won't have exhaustion. You will not have that because now you'll be connected to something that's higher, that's bigger than you. Motivation will become self-sustaining. You won't have to be charged up. Somebody's got to come to give you some speech every morning to get you out of bed. No, you're gonna get out of bed because you want to get out of bed because you want to serve. Your decisions become clearer, not choices. I said decisions. You cut yourself off from not having something. They become clear. Then your relationships deepen authentically. They deepen authentically. What happens in this regard? They deepen because you become the person. You become the person that you see in other people. The person that you want, your perfect soulmate, which does not actually exist at all, but your perfect mate is drawn to you by being the perfect mate. You have to be it. Once you be it, it comes to you. The person comes to you. And that's the truth. Okay? Your energy flows towards contribution. It's a wonderful thing when you have contribution. All right? And so now at 12 is going to be your science of scaling. You are going to expand. Expansion amplifies the nervous system already inside of you. So you scale without coherence. That creates burnout. Meaning you're scaling and all of a sudden, so you got the $100 million deal and you don't even know why the hell you alive. You don't even want to be alive. You got all this magical stuff, everything that you asked for in your lifetime. You don't even know why you're here. Boy, that's an empty feeling when you do this. You scale and you literally had no coherence. You have burnout because on that area you have internal fragmentation. You was doing it for external value. You was getting the money success because somebody told you that you couldn't do it, trying to prove somebody wrong. That's not what you want. So scale with coherence. So when you scale without coherence, it creates burnout, it creates addiction, it creates collapse. Coherent scaling creates Generational wealth and legacy. You have legacy. You have generational impact. They're gonna remember your name forever. What happens in this solution set? You will scale recovery before scaling responsibility. Scale recovery. Okay. Audit every major goal against your values. Every major goal has to go through the value process. Has to go through your value hierarchy. Is it what you want to do the most? Is it what you want to be seen, do, or is it what you spend your energy on, spend your money on, organize your life around? If it's not, that ain't the right, that ain't the right goal. That ain't the right major goal. When I say scale recovery, that means you take care of your self care. Take care of your self care. Scale your self care before you scale your responsibility. Because if you don't have no strength, if you ain't getting the right sleep, if you ain't eating the right food, if you're not cleansed from within, you can't get no $1 billion. You're gonna be them empty billionaires like Gates and them, looking like fucking pieces of shit, pedophiles. Their skin's all fucked up. You just look at it. They look miserable. They look miserable as fuck. All they want to do is wish harm on other people. That's what you get when you scale without coherence. Those are incoherent people. I'm not, yeah, I'm not passing judgment. I'm just commenting on it. To me, they look like losers, and that's just my opinion. That I could be wrong. You increase your emotional honesty as you scale. The more that you make, the more money that you have, the more your character becomes amplified. Money only makes you a bigger version of you. If you were a dick, if you were a piece of shit, if you were an asshole, if you were a liar, if you were a fraud, oh, it's going to amplify all of that for everybody to see and experience. So choose wisely. You schedule restoration with the same seriousness as your work, meaning you schedule again your self care. It needs to be disciplined, it needs to be a system that you provide for yourself. You build environments that reinforce coherence, meaning your team, that enforces coherence. Your home, that enforces coherence. Your diet, that enforces coherence. The media that you take in. You choose wisely who you deem to follow. You don't just follow pages and bullshit, and you don't just follow reality TV and shit like that. You follow the right things. Follow the right things that are going to feed your mind. Sustainable energy and outcomes are going to be, and performance are going to be the outcome. Stronger relationships and leadership, greater influence without burnout, emotional stability under pressure, legacy instead of temporary success. This is going to be the 9 to 12 section of the expansion system. And now you're going to have uh, power with coherence, because power without coherence destroys you. Coherence with power transforms you. So you're going to build this inner architecture, protect your nervous system, align with your purpose. This is what this whole section right here is for, and then you're going to expand. And now, here's going to be your self-sustaining loop, the last section. You have a loop. I need you to understand how this thing works. In the day, your morning starts like this. Morning integration. I want you to hydrate deeply, go get some sunlight, go do some breath work, 5 to 10 minutes. Just keep it simple. I'm just at minimum. Observation log. I have a journal that you're welcome to purchase, also from my website. It is a daily journal. You are going to basically write down your affirmations. Check your budget for your finances monthly. Check your goals. You track your food, what you've been eating all day, what you've been drinking all day. You're tracking all these processes as an observation log. Set intentions throughout your entire day. In the morning, move your body. I don't care if it's do some push-ups, do some air squats, do something, move your body. Go take a walk. That's morning integration. Number two, midday integration. Because in the morning we were establishing coherence before we went out to the world. That's what we're doing, establishing how we want to feel. Number two, midday integration. Sustain our energy instead of burning through our energy. You're going to nourish yourself with whole alkaline food. I eat an avocado every midday. In the middle of the day, I eat an avocado. That's what I do. I eat avocado. At the beginning of my day, I usually eat some grapes, some watermelon, a mango, some sort of water-based fruit. H3O2 chains. I need to get some hydration inside my cells. I hydrate consistently, so I keep my water going. I have a 64-ounce jug that I carry throughout the day. I move, I walk, but I break up sitting. I don't just sit down throughout my entire day. I move. Okay? I focus my work in cycles. I don't just try to power through 6 hours. I might do it in 1 hour, maybe 2 hours, but I take a break and then I go to something else, and I go back to my work. So focus your work in cycles and check in emotionally. Check in with your emotions. Okay? You're talking to yourself. Check in with your emotions. You have an evening integration, which is going to be your transition from output into recovery. You're going to stretch yourself. You're going to relax yourself, relax your tension, spend time with your family. Connection time, this is in the circadian timing. Okay, 7 to 9 is where you're actually in, I believe it's called the pericardium, which is going to be the tissue that surrounds your heart. This is when you're going to be journaling. You're going to have sex with your partner, intimacy, physical intimacy. This is a great time for you to do it because this is where you're going to go from stimulation, and you're out all day, you're working all day. Now you're calm. Now you're winding down. Emotional processing. This is going to be where you're journaling. You're talking to yourself. You're journaling. Lower stimulation. So relax with the lights. Dim the lights. Turn off the medias, or just calm the medias down. Turn off the notifications. Turn off the notifications. Gratitude and reflection. This is your time for gratitude. Your time for reflection. Now you have this night integration. You're going to enter deep restoration. Now, set this theme for you to go to sleep. Dim lights, no blue light, cool, dark room. Okay. I actually take my herbal formulas at nighttime. So about an hour or even close to about 15 minutes to bed. I take my replenish, and I basically have cell salt support, magnesium, whatever I need. It's all inside of it. And then I meditate. I have affirmations that I record, that I play. I have an MP3 player. This is one thing for you to do is to get an MP3 player. You can put your own affirmations, record them, and you can play them back overnight. And sleep mask. Give yourself a sleep mask. Cut all of that light off. Okay? Sleep on time. Same time every night, same time, 7 to 9 hours. Give yourself 7 to 9 hours. Now, what you do is at number 5, weekly integration. You review your entire system. Relationships, check how you were interacting with your relationships. Say if you had a fight, say if you had an argument, and how fast did you regulate yourself and get back to homeostasis? How fast did you recover from that argument, from that fight? Sexual energy. How are you moving your sexual energy? Were you just dissipating? Were you emptying it out in distraction? What I'm saying, pornography. Were you emptying it out? Was it bleeding through and leaking through? Emotional triggers. Did you have any? Or were you able to sustain yourself? And what I tell you right now, this formula that I created, it basically integrates your shadows. Now, if you don't integrate your shadows, if you choose not to, you're going to basically get sick. So what it does is it makes the voice inside your head so unbearably loud that you have to listen to it. That's when I noticed that I had something there. When I could not hear anything on the outside. No more distractions came. It was just me distracting me from myself. That's why I believe, again, whenever you begin a process of detoxification, you have to commit to it. If you don't commit to it, it's just going to poison your bloodstream. People who detox and they don't want to finish the cleanse, they're just going to sit there with, bad chemicals inside their body because they didn't want to flush them out. So you get everything to come back into your bloodstream and you get to flush it out. Movement consistency. Get a training program and stick with it. Again, if you go to link in my profile, I have the free starter kit. Put your email address inside of go to when you click on the link in my profile, you'll see a link that says free starter kit. Just click on it, give your name, put your email address, and it's going to be sent right to you in a Google document. You have a 1 week again training program as well as a 1 week diet program. Purpose alignment. You're going to see it based upon these values, and you're going to check and see if you're aligned with your values. Progress, check your wins, check your adjustments. That's what you're going to do. Now, that's going to create rhythm, awareness, alignment, consistency, and integration. And there you go. You begin to ask yourself every day. I'm going to give you these five simple questions. How did I sleep? That's your first question. How do I feel emotionally? That's your second question. How is my energy right now? Third question. What is my body telling me? Fourth question. What is one thing I can do to support my coherence? Fifth question. That is the entire system of integration. That is the orgasmic power philosophy. That's what I came this week for you guys to present to you guys, for you guys to learn, for you guys to have, so y'all can be your own therapists. Because no offense, I don't really believe in therapies like that because they don't integrate the whole system at the same time. They don't seem to pay attention to everything at the same time. And your body functions at every moment in time, point in space. It communicates with each other. Every portion knows what every other portion is doing. So I can't just fix one without fixing the other. I must fix all of them at the same time. And if my mind controls my body, I need to focus on that. But I need to focus on the cycle, the pattern of the body to the mind and the mind to the body. I got to get them done at the same time. So I hope this entire masterclass that I put on this 5 days helped you guys. Again, if you want to start the process off of really getting into yourself and transforming yourself, I have a VIP 1 year coaching program, Elite Immersion, I call it. If you guys are high performance people, y'all really want to get in touch with yourself, in tune with yourself, and be the, again, the clearest version of yourselves so that you can go to align with your purpose, serve the way you want to serve, and impact the way you want to impact. Click on my profile, you guys can check that out. I suggest if you are just coming in because you want to clear your energy, you want to be able to experience life with a higher quality of life, click the link in my profile. You guys can check out Awaken and Replenish. You can look at it. It's a 90-day formula. You know, I have a package. It's basically one, both of them at the same time. You can take one of them at the same time or take one of them at a time and check it out. Other than that, appreciate y'all walking with me, tapping in with me. Follow my profile. Check me out on YouTube. I have my own channel. I do all these teachings on, on YouTube for different topics and things associated with each part of this philosophy. My book is going to be out soon. You guys can check it out on Amazon when it comes out. See it on my website, and I'll also post the link whenever I get to that. And other than that, man, just enjoy your Friday. And last thing I want to tell you is relentless non-resistance. Stop resisting your higher self. Okay, stop resisting any and everything. It's okay for you guys to say I apologize. It's okay for you guys to say I'm wrong, to say I don't know, and figure out what's in real alignment with you and go towards that route. It's okay for you to do that. All right, I've grown accustomed to doing it, and I welcome that. That I'm wrong sometimes. I welcome that. Okay, but I also know that in the case of cause and effect, I'm always causing the effect. And I'd rather cause an effect that's a pleasant one than one that's a war zone all the time. I check myself in my perceptions. I balance myself out. So enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And until next time, peace.